Hi guys. Well, today you've joined me on my walk looking for moss. This particular type of moss is quite common in the UK actually, but I've actually come back to the source of where I originally found it like 10-15 years ago, which is Lake Vyrnwy, just because I wanted a nice walk. If you don't know about Lake Vyrnwy, it's quite an interesting place. You'll see the dam in the background. It's a 70-foot dam there. It was actually built because they wanted to provide water, fresh drinking water for Liverpool, because Liverpudlians, they can't just drink Prosecco all the time. They have to have other things. So they flooded this area. They built the dam. It was 1888 it was finally finished, and it's like a little boathouse now. The interesting thing about this place is there's actually a village that used to be here. And they flooded it. I think they demolished about half of the buildings and then just call it quits and just flooded it anyway. When the water level is low enough, if there's a drought, then you can actually hear the church bells, because obviously it rings underwater. Sounds spooky. Must be annoying if you're a fish, because you just keep getting little fishy headaches because sound is quite. It's amplified in the water, so that's no good. Right, this is where I originally found it over here, but unfortunately, as you can see, it's not very accessible at the moment because of felling, which is a bit annoying. So what I'll probably do is I'll take a slightly different route. I have a bag with me, and basically what I'm going to do is just continue to hunt for it. There is no art to this, and oh, there we go, I've done it. Here we go. So this is the stuff here. If I take a bit, is it? Let me see. Yeah, there we go. So this is it. Damn it, I should have remembered the name of it. I haven't remembered the name, but you can see there's like an abundance of it. This whole part here, I've literally just stood out of my car and I've already found it, which is quite nice. Although that's not much of a walk, so I might just go and pretend I haven't seen that. Pretend you haven't seen that and we'll go for a walk, because that would be nicer. Let's go this way. I mentioned to my wife that I was going to be coming out to collect more moss, and you know, that original pile I had, actually, only I could put it on me, couldn't I? The original moss, hello, actually, like I say, has lasted. I didn't have a huge amount, I probably just stuffed some in my pockets at the time. And I've used it on multiple layouts, and I've only just ran out now. So, yeah, I'll just go. I think I can go this way. Although it doesn't look very moss friendly. No, we'll go along the lake. Yeah, so I mentioned to her that I wanted some more moss, and she was saying that, is that a good thing to recommend people to do? Go out and forage their own materials. Now, moss is, moss is used, essentially, it's not used, it's, oh God, there's loads of it. Yeah, I'll get it on the way back. One of the benefits of moss for the environment is that it's basically a natural sponge. Which means that, you know, in damp areas like this, it's probably providing a lot of juicy fresh water for the trees and the shrubbery that's around here, which, you know, is quite relevant, considering that the water's being sapped for use in Liverpool. So it's nice to keep a little bit here. But apart from that, like birds use it. I don't know. Look it up yourself. I'm going to use it. I know that I need it. And actually, if you offset the idea that, okay, I'm going to take like a couple handfuls of moss that is going to last me for a long time. If I didn't, I'd have to have commercially produced products, which then means that there's more harm to the environment through the use of factories and things like that, and also the transport. So I think I'm in the right. You've got your own opinion, and you know, it's like it's probably wrong if you don't agree with me. So let's go that way. Nice place though, and it's so calm. If you do live, well, not just in Wales, if you live in the UK. It's a really lovely place to come. So I'm good because I've had fizzy drinks. There's a hotel here. You might have heard of the hotel, which is, there it is. It's over there. It's a really impressive lake. They do. It's nice for a bike ride, actually. The other benefit of coming out for a walk like this is for mindfulness, which obviously, if you're a railway modeller, then you're probably very aware of that, because there's quite strong links, and especially if you've got additional things, autism and ADD and things like that. I found waterfall. That's nice, isn't it? Look at all that lovely water. Straight to Liverpool. It's not the only thing I found here. I mean, I didn't come here looking for moss. I came here looking... should we go down and see the dam? Hang on, there we go. I didn't come here looking for moss originally. We would have just been on some sort of like a walk or a date or something like that early on. And I probably just spotted it, because obviously you've got to have your priorities right. So I was thinking about model trains. It wasn't the only thing we found that day. We found a hedgehog, but I didn't find much use for that on the layouts. It's over scale, so I left that. They also smell. Not really keen on that. It's quite... there's like a nice woodland walk that goes up over the bank here, and it's quite sad to see that there's so much tree felling, but I suppose, you know, tree felling isn't always for evil. It could be that there's like a fungus or something that's maybe destroying the trees, and they have to get rid of it, you know. I guess it's not always a bad thing when you see it, because everyone always moans when they see it, like I just did. What was I saying, Vic? No, not about hedgehogs. Before the hedgehogs. Oh yes, about mindfulness. Especially this time of year. I mean, it's very overwhelming having Christmas and having to see people, and there's that pressure of I thought I saw a waterfall. It was just the drain. Probably seen those. The pressure of having this, well, I keep referring to as organised fun, and especially the kids in my classes, I think, have heard me whinging quite a lot last week about not liking Christmas. And it's not that I don't like, well, it is, I don't like Christmas. I don't know, I like this. I haven't seen a single person which, you know, like if you've got a busy head, it's so good just to get out and get some fresh air. And we've had a storm, so it's really nice to come out and do a nice walk, even though I'm only walking about 5 minutes because I'm lazy. Anyway, should we talk about trains? What am I doing? Oh, you're probably watching the Garratt build at the moment, so that's going well. I can't move on with that at the moment because I'm waiting for the paint to dry, and I've used enamel for that top coat, which does take longer to dry, which is why I usually use acrylics, but I wanted the colour because it was recommended to me. What's up here? I'm on this walk. But I've got other things I want to build, and that doesn't just include the finishing stock for the town. Oh, there we go. There's a forestry estate. It's too much words. I'll get someone to read that to me at some point. There we are. We're climbing up above the lake now, which is quite nice. There's other things. I've got things from other kits from companies like Westcliff Works that I haven't shown you on the channel that much, and it'll be quite nice to... What's that way? It'll be quite nice to build those up, even if they're not going to be very good on, you know, they're not going to be practical on... I'm already out of breath. Sorry, there's people, there's humans. That looks really immature. I don't want to go near people. They're not going to be useful on the layout. They're probably just going to be plonked on there just for photos and things. So I want to build that at some point. Oh, look, it's nice. See? This is nice. Take it in, isn't it? Take it in. Although I'm using I don't know if you noticed the camera sort of doing its own thing. It's because it's on like one of those handheld gimbals. If I saw you at the exhibition down in Kent, it was the first time I got it out, and it's sort of, I mean, I'm not a very dominant person anyway, but I don't think I'm in control of it at all. It seems to just want to do, if it sees something, it goes for it. Yeah, see, this was useless because whilst this is a nice walk, there is no moss because they've been working here. So I suppose they've been mushing up the ground and things like that. I don't know. I don't work on ground. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Nant Gwernol. So I've been looking at, once I've got this moss back, I'll be looking at going into finishing the garret, getting back on Nant Gwernol. Someone asked the other day, I was talking to them and they said, like, how far off is it? Because they want to put it into an exhibition. And actually, not very far off at all. See, that is a moss. Hang on. This is not the right type of moss, if I get some of that. See that? Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. And it doesn't have to just be that particular moss. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned before that... Oh, we're above the lake now, so hang on. There we go. There's the dam. 70 foot. I haven't measured it. I just took their word for it. Somebody used to... Oh, I've seen another plant now. What's that? See, you probably would have seen a lot of this just being out and about. There we go. That's another useless. Absolutely useless. That's why it has to be the specific type of moss. Otherwise, it just doesn't look it. Because what I was going to say before I started talking about that was that a chap called Malcolm Savage, who was well known for 5.5 modelling, used to use moss on his layouts, live moss for just generic scenery, and he used to spray it with water and keep it alive and things, which was nice. But what I'm looking for is something that looks like a specific type of... See, what I've done now is I've gone on this little walk, and if I turn the camera around, that's the road I just walked up, and my car's over there, but now I'm stuck at this fence. And if you think I'm going to jump a fence, you're dreaming, mate. You are dreaming. Although I imagine that's the one thing the gimbal will actually decide to film, will be me hopping over a fence and get my foot caught or something. Yeah, so I don't know. I really think it's a good... I don't know why some people are a bit funny about using natural products on the layouts, and I don't know, it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, it's free. There's an abundance of it. I mean, like I said, you come here and it's just everywhere. And a lot of things, people use things like, oh, we're going over there. Oh, look, someone's left a plaster on the floor. They've decided they're no longer bleeding and they've left it there. That's nice. I'm now going over the if you are actually watching this, then I applaud you for finding it entertaining, because I'm literally just fumbling over like these little steps. I'm actually over there's loads of moss over there that I want. That looks like somewhere I'm not going to get to, doesn't it? Okay. No, I need to get my moss. What I'll do is this is what we'll do. And no, I haven't planned any of this. Obviously, I'm just talking out my mouth, because I didn't plan anything. Not this time of year anyway. I'm too busy drinking things. I will get the moss. I'll put it in my bag. We'll take it home, and then maybe I will show how to like put it in glycerin and things like that. If I can't find the glycerin, the video will just end and you'll be happy with what you've seen. Right, well, I'm back home now and ready to start getting this stuff ready to get on the layout. I was doing it in the kitchen, but unfortunately Christmas festivities are happening in there, which means I don't want to be sitting in there trying to film as well. So this is the setup we have. On the left, I have my bag of all the moss that I collected. Then I've got 2 tubs. This one is just warm water. This one is 2 parts glycerin to 1 part water, boiled water. So the idea is I'll just do it actually, because I've already started. So say I've taken this bit. Obviously you don't want the whole thing. I only really want the useful parts. So I'm going to use my snippy snips and snip this bit off. So then it can go in here, give it a nice little bath. This takes, the majority of the little bits and, bugs and things that might be in it. which don't want to be preserved forever. Although that'd be quite exciting. You know, you could sort of go down the route of Jurassic Park, couldn't they? Although it'd just be woodlouse. And then they go in here. These are going to sit in here now, and what the glycerin does, if you're not familiar with glycerin, it's actually used in the food industry, and I use it here when I make bubbles with the girls, like blowing bubbles, because it gives it a bit of sort of strength, so the bubbles don't pop, so you can get much bigger bubbles. But what it does to the plants, like the moss, it will replace the moisture in the moss itself, and then the moss pieces will then stay malleable forever. I don't think I did that the first time. I think I just put them in like one of these takeaway tubs years ago, and they just dried out and they were still all right. But I thought, I've got like a litre of glycerin, so I might as well do it that way. Here's another piece here that obviously I don't need the little bits at the end, so I chop. Well, I'll just pull it off. And then that side. And then these, what I'll do eventually, you have seen me do it, but when it's all done, each of these individual fronds will then get pulled off or cut off, and that's what I'll then plant. It goes a long way. What I've got in here is might even be more than I had originally, and I've used it on every layout since. I don't know, I actually grabbed a massive bag of it. The reason I got a bag was because I thought that I could plant it just in the garden somewhere, because it grows quite happily in most conditions. I mean, you saw on the video just then at the lake that it would grow in damp conditions next to a little waterfall, but it will also be quite happy growing on a bank. So I'm hoping I'll find somewhere here that it'll grow, and I can then sort of harvest my own. I'll have a little, you know, when I need more in 20 years, it'll be here. Save me going out. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so you probably, if you've got this far, watched the video at the lake, and it was quite chaotic, and I don't finish a lot of the sentences that I start, and that's just something you're going to have to put up with if I do live videos like this. I forgot to say about Lake Vyrnwy, because I started going on about it, and then on the way home I was like, oh yeah, I was talking about that. I don't think it's going to take long to finish now. Actually, if I take you off there. So you can see how it's got the top there and the ferns, which you would have seen in one of the last videos I did. And then I sort of explained I was doing it in four sections. So you've got like here, 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 and here. But I might work at just sort of getting the rest, the last 3/4 of it looking the same. Though the other part is how I did the moss on the rocks. I need to do on the stone, the slate walling as well, before I get to that bit. So I might do that next week whilst I'm waiting for the garratt to dry, because you know the garratt is basically just sitting like this at the moment. Although one thing I have done is I've added weight, into there as well after a suggestion from a viewer. This thing now weighs a ton. The whole thing, that's full, and that's full. So I look forward to using that to, I don't know, to clear snow off the driveway and things, because it's going to be able to do stuff like that with the weight. Not really. I haven't got track out there yet. Anyway, that's about it for moss. What I'll probably do is just continue to go through my massive bag, which is a massive bag, which you can see. There's so much, but like I said, you know, it's of an abundance up there. So I think the amount that I took isn't going to do anything for the environment in any sort of damaging way, if anyone is looking at it that way. So I'm in the clear, which is the important thing. So, all right, well, what am I doing now? Oh yeah, I'm going to go and I'm just going to go and start drinking. So, yep, yes, cheers.